YouTube universe. What's going on, all my hitmen Harley Quinns? You know who it is. It's your favorite mother freaking role model, the Buddhist. With an attitude, Hitman Thornton for Raw Reaction T. Vizzle. What's going on, my peoples? Yes, I'm a little late getting this out. Had a busy weekend. As we all know, it's kind of a historic weekend that happened, but that's a whole nother subject for another time. So, let's get right to it. You know why you're here. I know why I'm here. Bam. Let's get right to it. The Mandalorian, episode 2, season 2. Okay? As we already know, it picks up pretty much where it left off from the first episode. Him and his little homie rolling back, heading back to Mos Eisley on his bike. You know, I'm surprised he wasn't playing some Dr. Dre Chronic or something. You know what I mean? But, yeah, heading back, and as we remembered, because it was reminding us, there's still a bounty on the child, aka Baby Yoda. So, as he's heading back, these bounty hunters see him coming. They set up this little, Roadrunner, Scooby-Doo type trap for him. You know, as he's rolling, as he's about to go through these two rocks, bam, rope comes up, wham, him and the child go flying, crash. All right, so they scramble, tell one grab the child, and they try to handle Mando, but he does quick work of both of them, put them in check, and then the little dude, the little bounty hunter grabs the child, had a knife to his throat, and Mando's like, you don't want to do that, dude. Trust me, because if you do, it's a wrap for you. Trust. You don't want to do that. You don't want to go there. So I'm a little wired right now, so bear with me. And yes, spoiler alert, forgot to throw that in there. So he makes a little deal with this dude, gives him his jetpack. Dude runs off. Mando, boom, hits a button, jetpack goes flying, does some Wile E. Coyote shit with him. Bam! It's a wrap for that little dude. So him, the child, strolling, heading back. They got to hoof it on foot. And I don't know how this dude did not pass out in that heat, because I know it had to be blazing. He has to walk back with the child, carrying everything, plus with the gear on. I guess he's adapted to it since he kind of grew up in it, in the Mandalorian, way. So, but man, I like a warm environment, but damn, not that warm. I'm surprised he wasn't dragging ass and damn near passing out, but he made it back to Mos Eisley, hooked up with the mechanic lady, and she's sitting there talking in the bar to this big old ant dude, and it didn't even dawn on me that Peyton Reed directed this episode. Hope I said his name right, because he's the one that directed the Ant-Man movies. I was never a big fan of the Ant-Man movies, but they're alright. But that explains the giant ant and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, he directed this episode. So, she says she knows somebody that can, get you to where you need to go to find more of your peoples. So, Mando, they go back to the hangar, or he goes back to the hangar. She comes back with some fish/frog lady or whatever. And so basically, Mandalorian is an Uber driver now, because she needs a lift to get to where she needs to go to meet up with her husband, because her husband's the one who has all the info. And Mandalorian's like, really? But the thing is, he can't travel in hyperspace, because she has these eggs and this little container on her back, this little water container, because if he goes into hyperspace, it could kill the eggs, which are her children. So, yeah, complicated, people. Man, so it's a problem. So he basically has to cruise through space, with this lady and her children. And there's one scene where you see Baby Yoda kind of looking at all these little things in the fluid floating around, these little ball-like eggs-like things. He walks up to it, puts up his hands to it and all that, and then they kind of float towards him. And the first thing I said, he's going to eat one of them things. He is going to eat one of them, because the child is still a child. You know how babies are. They always got to put stuff in their mouth. They always do, especially if it's food-like or looks like food. Sure enough, That's what he did. Throughout the whole episode, this boy is just eating this woman's babies. Eating her babies. Kind of dark, but funny. Kind of wrong, but funny. Because he's a baby. He doesn't know any better. You know. So as they're cruising through space, you know, he takes a nap because it's going to be a long trip. He gets stopped by these X-Wing pilots. You know, and one of the X-Wing pilots is Dave Filoni, I believe, who's one of the producers, or executive producers of the show. And the other dude, oh man, his name is something Lee. God, I forgot his name. I should have wrote down the notes. But he has a big show on in Canada on a Korean show. Man, I should have did notes. I've just been in such a hurry, crazy day for me. But anyway, so these X-Wing pilots stop him in space, and because he didn't have his transponders beacon on, which identifies his ship, but he's trying to fly low key. He can't fly in hyperspace because her eggs. And he's trying to stay under the radar, you know, because of who he is and the child. So they end up in this big old chase, and they end up flying to this like ice Hoth kind of planet. And they go into this little trench thing where they're flying around. Kind of looks like a scene from A New Hope in the Death Star battle. He ends up crashing. He was able to get away from them, but they end up crashing on the snow into a cavern, and so they crash land. So they're pretty much screwed for a while. So they're trying to figure out how to, and this is pretty much where it kind of slows down because he's got to figure out, okay, how are we gonna get out of this mess, you know. So we got the woman with her eggs, and she complaining, and the child's eating her babies, and it's just a crazy episode. So she somehow was able to jimmy rig this android that was left, or robot that was left in his ship from the first season when he did this little jailbreak episode with these other bunch of guys. To speak to him because he couldn't understand her language. You know, he was speaking Hutt. He tried to speak Huttonese to her, you know, Jabba the Hutt's language, because that's kind of a well-spoken language throughout, you know, the sector or whatever. But she's able to speak to him through the robot so he can understand him. Obviously, she got skills, mechanical skills, and tries to say, you know, hey, you need to get me here. I got my children. This is my lifeline. I got to get to my husband. And Mandalorian was like, hey, no, the deal's off. We can't. We crashed. We're done. And she basically reminds him and lets him know, hey, I thought you Mandalorians were badass. I thought you guys had a code. Come on now. Do me a solid here. So he's like, fine. So he tries to fix his ship and all that, but she ends up wandering off. Finds herself a hot springs for her and her eggs. He goes looking for her. You know, she's up there in the pool, just swimming around. Warm pool, hot pool, whatever. And he's like, what the hell are you doing? Get your ass out of here. We gotta go. So, and of course, they try to scoop up the eggs, put them back in the little, you know, container thing. Baby Yoda's trying to eat them. And he's like, no, get your ass away from there. So he wanders off to these little alien things that look like from the movie Alien. They turn out to be eggs. So the child rips it open, finds some strange, you know, baby-like creature in there. So he eats it. Next thing you know, all the eggs start waking up. And they're like these little spiders type things. And next thing you know, them coming out of there wakes up even more bigger spiders and wakes up the big-ass giant mother spider, which this was kind of a cool scene. So Mando sees this, the frog lady sees this, and they both are like, what the fuck? So they're trying to run back to the ship. You know, he's blasting everything, you know, killing them all, trying to get out of there. So next thing you know, she's hopping along, you know, which was kind of a cool scene. You know, because she was running and she said, F this. So she started doing her little amphibian frog thing, hopping. So, and he does this flamethrower thing, which is cool. Makes it back to the ship, does a flamethrower shooting, but still they're getting inside, and it looked like it's going to be a wrap. It looks like they're about to get out of there. Next thing you know, because he set off these charges that he thought he killed the big mother as he's going through this tunnel to get back to the ship through these charges. Charges explode. He thought he killed the mother. Next thing you know, she hops on the ship as he's trying to leave. Nope, didn't kill her. So just as it looks like it's about to get grim for them, because spiders are coming through, mom's on top of the ship. Next thing you know, you see you hear these lasers going off, and these things are getting shot at. So he finally wonders what's going on. He looks, and it's the X-wing pilots that came through. Obviously found him, and basically saved his ass. So he basically, they were going to take him in because of who he is. But he's starting to develop a reputation, around the galaxy because he got those 3 criminals locked up from the first season, and he saved the one dude, the one guard at that prison from being killed. So they let him go. So he does have an honor code kind of thing, and like I said, he's developing a rep that he ain't such a bad dude. So they eventually end up getting off the planet, my hoopty style, because he had to definitely try to put the ship back together. They had to lock themselves in the cockpit because the hull and everything else is kind of open in space. So, yeah, I know I told this really quick and it's all over the place, but it wasn't one of the best episodes, but it was entertaining. It was cool, you know. So like I said, some people liked it, some people didn't. I'm either way with it, but it was cool. It's still, it's still all right. It was all right, but I'm definitely looking forward to episode 3 because, it's about to get very interesting, very interesting. So let me know down in the comments what you thought of the episode. Episode 2, The Passenger. Let me know if anything else I might have left out because I was talking real fast because, I'm all amped up. I got stuff to do and I got to remember to do this. So, so The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 2. Let me know your thoughts down below. If I've forgotten anything, forgive me. I'm talking fast. I'm all over the place. So, until next time, this is Hitman Thornton, the Buddhist with an attitude, your favorite mother freaking role model. Hit like, subscribe, share. Until next time, peace out, bitches. And always, and remember, stay zen as fuck.